Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's Monday, October 17th, 2016, just 22 days from the upcoming presidential election. In this video, I want to talk about the headlines the last week. The last few days, Donald Trump getting a lot of attention for saying the election's rigged. In addition to that, there's been a number of women who've come out and said that they were sexually harassed by Donald Trump in years past. What I want people to understand is the purpose of this video is to help people emotionally remove themselves from the political process in this nation. Our political system is immoral, it's empty, its purpose is to mislead people and to tear them apart. And the same tricks are used on us as a nation every cycle. However, this time around, things are more extreme. And sadly, people fall for this mockery, this agenda, every single time around. There is nothing legitimate about the current presidential campaign. Hillary Clinton is not a legitimate candidate for the Democratic Party. Donald Trump is not a legitimate candidate for any party. He is being used to divide us, to bring out the worst in America, to mock us. Let me make my points very quickly about both of these candidates being illegitimate. Hillary Clinton just ran against Bernie Sanders. Nationwide, Bernie Sanders was bringing out crowds of thousands of people, even bringing out the young people. Nationwide, major Bernie Sanders movement. I live up here in the liberal Pacific Northwest near Seattle, major Democratic stronghold. Every Democratic presidential contestant, there's always plenty of bumper stickers, plenty of yard signs. That is not true for Hillary Clinton. It is hard to find a bumper sticker. It is hard to find a yard sign for her up here. At the same time, there are Bernie Sanders bumper stickers, yard signs everywhere still, even though he's not running. I wouldn't be surprised if they really counted the votes and more people write in Bernie Sanders than circle Hillary Clinton on the ballot. But it doesn't matter because our votes are never counted. All elections in this nation are predetermined, planned. The election process, the debates, the voting, that's all part of the show that keeps people in the grand illusion, not recognizing what's obviously really going on. So anyhow, Bernie Sanders, no doubt, should have been the Democratic nominee, and he would have been if it was a legit system. Even at the Democratic National Convention, you could tell that the majority of the people there were for Bernie. The Bernie crowd, very boisterous. Meanwhile, in the Republican Party, Donald Trump, it's Donald Trump, we've never seen anything like this in our lives. For more than a year now, Donald Trump has been on the TV every single day about every single issue. When other news is broken out, we've often heard what Donald Trump had to say first. Donald Trump, no one in the history of the nation, not even a sitting president, has gotten as much time as Donald Trump has in the year plus that he's been running for president. And this is not by accident. Donald Trump was the candidate meant to run against Hillary because Donald Trump, being as ridiculous as he is the person that's going to make Hillary passable. There's almost no support for Hillary, so the only way people can let her become president and not feel, so upset about it is by having the sigh of relief that it's not Donald Trump. And I've been explaining this for more than a year. Donald Trump, he's done things that no other candidate could ever get away with. Normally, the media sabotages a political candidate anytime they do anything that's not politically correct. Donald Trump has criticized every single group of people there are, even the handicapped. Think about just years ago, not that long ago, 2004. That's not that long ago. I was in college then. Howard Dean, he was the front runner for the Democratic Party until they went, woohoo! And the media kept rerunning it and going, is this presidential? Can a person go, wahoo? They kept putting, like the sound caption on the screen, running it over and over, putting up stats that his poll numbers fell off after the Wahoo. They could have done this to Donald Trump at any point. They could have said, okay, Donald Trump crossed the line criticizing handicapped people. He's now polling at 10%. I guess it's over for Donald Trump. But instead, Donald Trump, he got to demonize every single group. His poll numbers stayed higher than all the other candidates. It's because it's all a joke. And the powers that be, they know they can get away with it because the people of this nation, they'll fall for anything as long as it comes through the TV. And so many people in this nation, they live through the TV vicariously. They worship the TV characters, which Donald Trump is. Apprentice, WWE, movies, TV shows, Playboy. Donald Trump is a popular figure in the media. So anyway, just think about it. All this time, they've been cramming Donald Trump down our throats. It's not until 33 days before the election that all of a sudden this audio recording comes out before 2005. Or, this audio recording comes out that's existed since 2005. Him talking to Billy Bush on the bus about how he wanted to have sexual relations with a married woman. The language he uses in that recording, very distasteful, very immature, showing he's not a very good man. Who says things like that? They're just going to lay it on some married woman? That just shows that he doesn't respect other people. So anyway, that recording came out at a very political time for all part of this staged agenda. All year, Donald Trump's been having conflict with women, Megyn Kelly, Rosie O'Donnell, and more. I've done videos on all of it saying this is all part of the narrative of how he's going to end up falling to Hillary. As the pig-like male, as the bigot. It's all a predictable narrative. It's all being foretold. And now here in the closing month, they're really hitting him with more and more of the narrative. It's just getting worse and worse with each passing day. All these women coming out saying he's, made sexual advances on them inappropriately, crudely. So anyway, now Donald Trump is being mocked by the media for saying the election's rigged. And why are they having Donald Trump, the puppet that he is, say the election's rigged? Because it's the truth. And by associating the truth with Donald Trump, it automatically discredits the truth. People with a brain know that Donald Trump is not trustworthy. His words aren't worth anything. I mean, look at him at the second debate, which happened right after the recording came out. At the beginning, he apologized, saying he was a different man then, as if he shouldn't have been grown up and smart enough to not say the things he said when he was age 59. That's how old he would have been. He's saying he's a changed man now. He's a better man. He regrets that. And then after that, he said that no one respects women more than he does. You can't conclude your apology by saying that no one respects women more than you. We all know Donald Trump doesn't respect women. It just shows that Donald Trump, the things that come out of his mouth, they don't have meaning. There's no truth. He's just a puppet. He's a hot air balloon. He's an empty salesman. So when Donald Trump says the election's rigged, looking as bad as he is, it discredits the truth. The truth is the elections are rigged. They've always been rigged. This isn't the first rigged election. Every single election in the history of this nation has been rigged. We don't live in a democracy. We live in a democratic republic, which is far from it. It really is a military dictatorship that we live under. And we get puppets who pacify us to this military agenda that we live under. So anyway, notice, Donald Trump rigged election. This has been a story for going on 3 days. Notice how they emphasize the phrase, rigged election equals 133, like government, like White House. This isn't a coincidence. It's a mocking of the truth. Every race to the White House is rigged. It's scripted. These presidents, they're born and bred to be agents. Agents that are good at going before the masses, lying to them, smiling to them, selling them out. Hillary Clinton, clearly one of these people. In the last debate, there were some shining examples of what a politician Hillary is. She was asked about Obamacare and what she would do. And she acknowledged that it's expensive, costing people a lot of money. It's hurt a lot of people. And with a smile on her face, she says, as the president, she'll try to make improvements. You know what that translates to? that translates to Hillary Clinton isn't going to do shit. Try? You can't just try. We're talking about a criminal act that has made people mandatory slaves, punishable with a fine for not participating in. Someone like me who cares about health, I don't have any insurance. I just know to take care of myself, to eat well, to not do risky things with my body that might injure myself. Live with common sense. At the same time, I value health. I value the concept of having a good medical system, but I don't ever want to be required to participate in insurance, So trying to fix Obamacare, that is the completely wrong word, and she said it with a smile on her face, and it was so clear that what she means is she'll just come in as the next president and maintain what's already in place. Because that's what all these puppet presidents do. They come in and they maintain the agenda. Another question Hillary got asked was about renewable energy, and she did exactly what Obama did in 2008. She said, oh yeah, I love renewable energy and the great idea of renewable energy, but, we have clean coal right now, and we got natural gas. Neither of those things are renewable. And she just slid right into it like Obama used to. If we wanted to revolutionize this world, create jobs, change the world for the better, that is what we would do. We would focus on how to create renewable, sustained, cheap, efficient energy that would save the quality, well-being of the planet, which directly impacts us. It would create, all sorts of industry, all sorts of research and development. They don't do this because they control a system that's in place that they want to maintain, which has a lot to do with traditional energy methods, which coal, natural gas, oil are. So, Hillary, she's that smooth politician, says it all with a smile. People just let it go. She doesn't get criticism for it. All of these people are puppets and frauds. They represent the Masonic banker tyrants, the industrialists that truly run this nation. The elections are a show. The people who are elected are puppets. And all of you who get caught up in these candidates, you're getting played. So let's go through these women. As I said the night the tape came out, I said this is coded to the teeth with the same numbers that were stamped on the Bill Clinton sexual accusers. And that's not a coincidence. So many people hate Hillary for Bill Clinton's affairs, which when you think about it, that's really not a fair reason to hate somebody. And for all of you who hate the Clintons for the supposed Clinton body counts and all the people that have died who were going to testify against them, realize you're getting played. Bill and Hillary Clinton are not gangsters. They're not mobsters. They are puppets that work for the gang that kills people. And so is Donald Trump. Donald Trump is running this show or participating in this show for the benefit of Hillary. He knows exactly what he's doing, and I'm sure he's being compensated well for it. So anyway, Bill Clinton, all of his accusers coded with 33 and 42, and that's exactly what we see going on here. Ridiculous names. Here was the latest of them. This woman came out and says, she says Trump kissed her. In Gematria, that sums to 93, like propaganda. Hillary and Bill took the White House in 93. This woman's name is supposedly Temple Taggart. Does that name sound at all realistic to you, or does that sound like the name of a contrived character for the media, for agendas such as we see right here? The name Taggart has Gematria of 74, like Masonic. Temple Taggart. Donald Trump Kiss Me also has that 223 Gematria like Masonic. So then the same day as her, they had another woman come out, Kristen Anderson. Kristen Anderson in Gematria sums to 73, just like Hillary Clinton. And this is all part of a scripted narrative making Hillary the first female president, the 45th president. Another woman steps forward. Another headline they put up, it had that 113 Gematria, like mainstream, like dishonest, number that they always code in their lies. Another woman who came out this week, supposedly from The Apprentice. Her name was Summer Zervos. Zervos, a name with 33 Gematria, just like how Clinton equals 33, federal 33, order 33, masonry 33, secrecy 33. Again, the tape, the audio recording from 2005 came out a span of 33 days before the election. October 7th, 2016, a date with 33 numerology. It's always the same. Coded propaganda, coded agents, planned narratives, planned agenda. The first woman that the recording was about was Nancy O'Dell. Donald Trump wanted to force himself onto the married Nancy O'Dell. He really wanted to have sex with her. He wanted to take her to the furniture store. Freemason, 42. Nancy O'Dell, 42. The recording came on a bus, bus 42, big G 42. This is the symbol of the Freemasons who run our nation, who always have, who control our media, who believe in divide and conquer, order out of chaos. Bill Clinton was the 42nd president. If you go back and decode all of the stories related to Bill Clinton, they all come back to 33 and 42. Paula Jones, just one of many examples. Notice the date of her accusation was May 8th, 5/8, Freemasonry equals 58. This was a date with 33 numerology, 33, Clinton 33, also a date with 123 numerology like conspiracy. The name Paula Jones sums to 33, and with the S exception, 42. It's no coincidence that they're doing this to the people of this nation. So many people hate the Clintons for the entire affair scandal. And now they've invested their hope in Donald Trump, and now it's deja vu. And so often in politics, they bring it back to sex, to destroy candidates, to change people's perception, to play with their heads. It's a very predictable narrative. It's one the media goes to often, and it's effective against the people who fall for it every time. Think about the recent politician Anthony Weiner, supposedly sending the dick pics. Anthony Weiner. You know, we got to wake up, people. They've been using Michelle Obama to scold Donald Trump, and while I agree with a lot of what Michelle Obama's saying about Donald Trump, recognize these people, all of them are horrible human beings. Michelle Obama, a good speaker, she often says the right things. If you just listen to her speeches, it's hard to disagree with her. But you have to recognize what these people represent. Her husband is the president who's signed off on things such as legitimizing the assassination of citizens if deemed to be threats to the nation when they are outside of U.S. borders. These are really awful things, and they're things that most people just shrug their shoulders at. You know, that was presented to us in the news about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, whenever he signed off on it. I've lost track of time. But the thing is, these presidents, these people who govern over us, they make the most evil decisions. They stand side by side with the most evil policies. You know, Donald Trump, he's a despicable person. What he said is awful. It's easy to get up and shame him. But is Michelle coming out and giving these powerful speeches about what a warmongering, fear-mongering nation we are? A nation that now legally assassinates its own citizens? To me, these are really concerning things. For most people, they only think things are concerning if the media tells them it's concerning, if they should be emotionally invested. They just shrug off the rest of the things that just get reported in a monotone voice and are in the news for an hour or 15 minutes, part of a day. Never again. The same day Michelle was up shaming Donald Trump, there was another story about a female accuser of Trump. This woman's name was Jessica Leeds. And then, of course, more women came out, just leading to the next story, Jessica Leeds. But look at the name Leeds. It equals 45. This is a race to be the 45th president. Again, 44 kings of Israel. 44 kings of Israel, the first female. Number 45, do the math. And all year, the media has done pictures like this of Donald Trump. He really does have a cartoon character face. He makes some of the most awful facial expressions, the way his whole face melts. Did you see the second presidential debate? It was over as soon as the two candidates came out. Hillary came out waving and smiling. Hello, I'm your next president. And I can't imitate Donald Trump's face, but, his face sags. His face looks something like that as he came out behind Hillary. It's like, here's Hillary smiling and waving, and Donald Trump coming out. This guy, he's just the guy that they had to run to get Hillary in there, because really, I don't know if there was any other person that they could have had make Hillary look so passable. So here's Donald Trump saying, I'm a victim. They're just making fun of him. He's saying he's the victim of the media. Well, Donald, you can't be the victim of the media when they put you on TV more than anybody in recorded history in a year's time. If the media didn't like Donald Trump, we wouldn't hear about him. So anyway, look at this headline. I'm a victim, Gematria 45 and 99, just like Illinois, just like 13. Hillary from Illinois. This number coded headlines all year. We saw George W. Bush, we did see George W. Bush endorse Hillary, but before that we saw his father, George H.W. Bush, endorse Hillary 99 days after his birthday. And why did he do it 99 days after? It's because 13 connects to 99. He was the 41st president. 41's the 13th prime number. 13 and a special number to Freemasonry, to the history of this nation. 13 colonies. 13 stripes on the flag. Hillary about to be the first female president. Donald Trump, he just plays that pathetic character so well. Just like how you have to find the right actor in a movie to play that role of that character you're meant to hate. For the Americans who invest in Donald Trump, they're just they're the least among us. I'm sorry, Donald Trump supporters. You people really need to wake up. You are being played so hard, and it's so pathetic to support this man. This man is a moron, a hot air balloon. He doesn't know how to say anything, really. All of his rhetoric is empty. It ends with some canned line about how he's the best at this, the greatest. It's going to be the greatest. The wall's going to be the greatest. There's just nothing there. You have to be really stupid to fall for Donald Trump. But just look at this. Look at how we're mocked. Billy Bush is now going to get paid millions of dollars in a settlement for being part of this tape. Part of this political dynasty family, already rich, and now he's going to get millions of dollars just for being in this recording. All of this is a mocking of us. Most of us, we slave our whole lives. We participate. We follow the rules. We're disrespected all this time. Billy Bush is about to get more money just for being part of this scripted recording than the majority of you are going to get for your entire working lives. The reason this is so is because we're a people who are ruled over by rich banker tyrants, rich industrialists, people who don't care about us, but people that so many of us invest our emotions in. All of you investing in Donald Trump and all the presidential candidates of the past, you're proof of what I'm saying. So more mocking from the second debate. This guy became the hero of the week. And then by the end of the week, supposedly he had all these derogatory comments about women's bodies on Reddit. So then they even shamed this guy. But look at this. All of these people in the audience at these debates, they're staged. They're not like you and I. They weren't chosen out of a hat. They are actors there for their part. And did you just listen to the things they said? The 33,000 emails, the 33,000 emails. One time Donald Trump said 39,000 emails. Numbers I've been talking about significant to this election, 33 and 39. Then what happened? They had a Muslim woman who asked Donald Trump, to pretty much look at how do you think it feels to be Muslim in this nation with all of the anti-Muslim rhetoric? And Donald Trump went into ISIS and Islamic extremism. Anyway, that woman, she said, there are 3.3 million Muslims living in America, and I guarantee you that number's nowhere near true. There's probably way more than that. They've funneled a lot of Muslims into this country in recent years. But look, 3.3 million, 33,000 emails. All of this just contrived by the numbers, cramming the numbers of Freemasonry down our throats in front of our face. All of you caught up, again, in the Hillary narratives, the emails, the body counts. All of this is bullshit, just meant to get you invested in a lie and a nonsense. The whole email story comes out of Benghazi, another September 11th, another grand deception of the people. Anyway, look at this guy up here, Kenneth Bone. Kenneth Bone, who became the sensation of the nation. His name, Kenneth Bone. No doubt making fun of us, a nation of boneheads, truly. All this sexual focus, Kenneth Bone, boner, boning. Kenneth Bone in Gematria sums to 113, like mainstream, like dishonest. The small way it sums to 50, like America, like Donald. A nation of people who have truly been programmed to be boneheads. You know? Have all this focus constantly on sex and being so obsessed with sex. We truly are a nation clearly obsessed with sex. We're obsessed with other people's sex, celebrity sex. It's always the topic that steals the show, trumps everything else. You know, Tiger Woods, this amazing golfer, revolutionized the sport, grew all this interest in a sport. And now most people just remember Tiger Woods for his supposed sexual affair in the media, which was all, guess what, based on the number 33. It's because everything in the media is agenda-driven. It's about controlling your mind's eye. It's about sucking up your energy. If it's coming through the TV, it's poisonous programming. It's a mocking. In this Ken Bone article, they talked about how Ken Bone costumes, I don't know if this was a joke or part of the mocking. I don't know if you can really pick up this costume now. But regardless, this media article showing Ken Bone in the costume or buying your Ken Bone costume, it's all a mocking of the truth. The people that go before the TV and pose as experts, from doctors to military analysts to elections analysts, they're all just stooges reading off information that comes from a source that truly is our government, that always puts information out there that they want occupying our brains, our mind's eye. The TV is not to be trusted. The TV is nothing but lies, deception, agenda. And ultimately, it's what, provokes people and pits them against one another in this nation. If a president was having an affair with 1,000 women in the time he was in office, you would never hear about it. Not unless it was part of the agenda and they wanted to put it out there. Just like how Donald Trump had this tape that had existed since 2005 and we didn't hear about it until when they wanted us to. And don't kid yourself, Donald Trump might have willingly participated in recording that tape just days before it was played. Who knows if that tape even really came from 2005? The whole part of the audio that's suspicious, you can't even see Donald Trump. It's supposedly him inside a bus. Again, bus 42, Nancy O'Dell 42. So anyway, the message is, truth seeker, to see through the lies, do the math. Here was CNN's headline about how Trump pretty much can't win. Do the math equals 40, like Hillary, like United States, like email. This article was on a date with 40 numerology. This is a nation where we are mocked every day by the numbers with math. All these truth channels out here who are telling you to get emotionally invested in Hillary's emails, the body counts, those are all channels I would never pay attention to because those are people who don't know what they're talking about. Those are people who are caught up in the lies. Most people are caught up in the lies, truth seeker. Anytime you see something on TV, your immediate instinct, your immediate reaction should be, okay, this is propaganda. This is trying to get the better of me. What's the real narrative here? What's the real agenda? Donald Trump, he just shows, even if, let's just say Donald Trump is a sincere person and he's really doing his best to run for president, his best it should be clear to you that he's not smart enough to be president. When this woman came out and called him out, did you hear how Donald Trump responded? What did he say about this woman? He goes, have you seen her? That wouldn't be my type. That wouldn't be my first choice. Dude, Donald Trump just said that nobody respects women more than him. And here he is again, already saying that this woman's not that attractive. That wouldn't be his choice. These aren't the things you say about women if you respect them. You don't always talk about them in a sexualized appearance manner. America doesn't get it, though, because a majority of America is programmed where Donald Trump's at. Donald Trump is connecting with the average programming of an American. But anyway, it just goes to show he's not a smart enough guy. And, aside from all the things we've talked about, we heard Donald Trump in the first debate say that he wants stop and frisk as a policy in this nation. You want to live in a nation where your leader is advocating for police to be able to stop and search you whenever they want? Anyone who wants that's a true idiot. The people who are responsible for the crime in this nation, they are the government, they are the police, they're who funnel in the drugs, the weapons, the things that are illegal. And by the way, by making things illegal, such as drugs, that's how you create the whole incentive for crime. Because what comes with things being illegal? It skyrockets the prices of things. So now money's up. When money's up, more motive for violence, thieving, all the things that drugs lead to. You create a nation where drugs are legal. You're taught to be healthy, responsible. You're taught how to use drugs properly. A lot of drugs that are illegal can be very beneficial to you. Anyway, this nation, it's run by tyrants, it's run by criminals. You put stop and frisk in the equation, you're giving even more authority to the people who are responsible for the wrongdoing in the first place. I would leave the United States of America for certain if it became a stop and frisk nation, Either that or we need the revolution tomorrow. But you look at Donald Trump, he's just an idiot. He wants to shut down Saturday Night Live because they made fun of him. Have a sense of humor, buddy. He said that Alec Baldwin's impersonation's awful. I don't even like Saturday Night Live. I typically hate the comedy on there. I don't think it's funny. But Alec Baldwin is doing a very good Donald Trump, and it's hilarious. Donald Trump just shows that he's a petty man, insecure, can't handle a joke at his expense. If he was cool, he'd roll with the punches. He'd come back with something witty, clever. But he can't, because he's a fool. And the only people following him are bigger fools, which this nation's full of. So I've rambled on enough, truth seeker. Until next time.